How financially empowered are Indian women? You may have seen your mothers, even elder sisters, saving cash, stashing it in unusual spots around the house. Even if they did not have a steady flow of income, they would still somehow have big bucks secretly saved up. Well, gone are those days. Now India has gone digital, you see. It is the era of UPI and cryptocurrency. And it seems Indian women are staying up to date. Have a look at this study by Foreign Exchange Education Platform. It suggests that there are 685 million women in India. The study says 63 million of them own cryptocurrency. Crypto owners make up for almost 9.2% of Indian women, which means 1 in every 10 Indian women have owned cryptocurrency. It is the third highest share in the world, by the way. So what does it tell you? That the women of India are taking charge. They make their own money and invest it. They are financially independent and empowered. While India stands at the third rank, Vietnamese women top the list. More than 12 million of them have engaged with crypto. Although the number is far lesser than Indian women, the share of crypto owners against the total female population of Vietnam standing at a whopping 24%. The Philippines comes in second. Nearly 5.5 million of its women are crypto owners. They make up for 9.6% of total Philippine women. Did you notice how all the top spots are occupied by Asian women? And where do they stand against men? In India specifically, 60% of total crypto owners are men, while 40% are women. There is a disparity of 20 percentage points, giving India the 8th rank worldwide. Vietnam again tops the list, with 53% of its crypto owners being men, 47% being women. Indonesia is at the second spot with a male and female share of 57% and 43%. At the third place, Kenya and Colombia, where women make up 42% of the total crypto owners in both the countries. You see, more and more women around the world are turning to cryptocurrency for investment, and in some countries, they stand neck and neck with men. But let's just zoom in on India for a bit. Between 2021 and 2022, women have given men a run for their crypto. Let's just look at some facts and figures here from this survey itself. It was conducted by Indian crypto platform Wazir X. The platform clocked a 3.3% increase in trading volume by women. Urban centers have a dominant position. Most Indian women investors come in from Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, and Rajasthan. Women investors now have combined crypto worth over 350 crore rupees in their balance. That is almost $43 million. And we are talking about just one platform here. On an average, every woman on the platform owns crypto worth 9,650 rupees. That is roughly 116 in dollars. Interestingly, it's almost 30% more than the average value of crypto held per male user, which is 6,676 rupees or $80. Why are Indian women rushing to invest in crypto? According to the survey, most say they want to attain financial independence. Some even cite high returns and potential utility. Others feel it boosts their social standing and makes them appear more financially knowledgeable. The motivation differs, but the result is the same, you see. Indian women are taking charge and they are only going to move forward. Let's now shift our focus to India. The country is witnessing polar opposite weather conditions. The North Indian state of Himachal Pradesh is facing landslides as a result of heavy rainfall, but in several parts, the monsoon has now gone to below normal. At least 55 people have lost their lives in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Schools remain closed due to the rain fury. On the other hand, states like Bihar and Jharkhand are worst hit by the rain deficit. Why is India witnessing this phenomenon? Our next report telling you the complete story.
Destroyed roads, uprooted trees, cars making their way through roads which resemble rivers. This is the situation in the Indian state of Himachal Pradesh.
You can see it. Landslides are happening all over Himachal Pradesh. This site has been damaged last night. Landslides happened from far away, about 100 meters. 3 cars have been damaged. You can see, we have just recovered a car. The Public Works Department and all the locals here are helping us to remove cars through the cleared roads. The landslide damage is occurring all around Himachal Pradesh.
Officials say the state has seen over 157% surge in rainfall. The Indian Met Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall, and this only spells bad news for the people of Himachal Pradesh, where heavy rainfall, landslides and cloudbursts have already taken away several lives.
Here if you see, possibly a cloudburst occurred during which the railway track and road collapsed. Beneath this building, it is expected that 20 to 25 people are trapped. This is basically the Shiv temple, which is 150 years old. There has been a lot of damage to lives and property. We have recovered at least 4 bodies.
Authorities are unable to find the victims' bodies, while the victims' family members wait to see the remains of their loved ones.
3 members of my family are missing. I request everyone to just find them anyhow and bring them back to us anyhow. Alive or dead, we will accept it. Just hand them over to us. We have been waiting for the last 3 days.
Environmentalists are concerned over infrastructural changes. Although such changes promote an influx of tourists in Himalayan states, they can also make a region ecologically fragile, especially when combined with extreme weather.
We should get the bodies of missing members of a family back. We should get a glimpse of them for the last time and set their souls free. We have no doors left open for us now. We should get their bodies back.
Meanwhile, some parts of India are witnessing below normal monsoon. Reports say that 36% of India's districts have received deficient rainfall. States like Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh and Kerala have been the worst hit. Experts say the El Nino effect has now developed as a coupled system, which means that the heating of the East and Central Pacific Ocean waters is reflecting in the wind patterns. This effect enables the El Nino to impact the weather in different parts of the world. But the Indian Met Department is still hopeful, saying that the second half of August should see better rainfall. Senior IMD scientist D. Sivananda Pai has said, "It may not be very strong, but areas along the west coast and peninsular India are expected to get wet weather, along with rainfall in several states in the east and northeast as well as central India." Meanwhile, people in the state of Himachal Pradesh are praying for some relief from the rainfall. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
When the name Ralph Lauren comes to mind, we envision the epitome of style, iconic t-shirts, exquisite coats. But beneath that elegance, it seems there are a lot of questions. Ralph Lauren finds itself under investigation in Canada. It faces the allegation that the very garments that are adored around the world are woven with threads of forced labor, specifically by the suppressed Uighur Muslims in China's Xinjiang province. Our next report telling you more.
Classy, timeless, sophisticated. those are the tags fashion giant Ralph Lauren likes to be known for. But what about the tag of being complicit in using Uighur forced labor? Is that a tag the brand will have to deal with? Well, Canada's corporate watchdog has launched an investigation into Ralph Lauren's Canadian unit. They are investigating allegations that the fashion giant used forced labor from China's Uighur minority. The story begins in 2022 when a coalition of around 28 civil society organizations filed a complaint against Ralph Lauren. They alleged that the Canadian unit of the brand has a supply relationship with Chinese companies that use or benefit from the use of Uighur forced labor. The Canadian Ombudsperson for Responsible Enterprise says it published an initial assessment report. Investment firm Gambhir is also facing similar allegations. The Ottawa-based Uighur rights advocacy project has welcomed the investigation, but Ralph Lauren is yet to respond to the latest development. This, by the way, is not the first time a leading fashion brand has come under fire over forced labor allegations. In the last few years, several large US and Canadian multinational companies have been accused of using Uighur forced labor, either directly or in their supply chains. According to human rights groups, brands continue to source from the region or from factories connected to the forced labor of Uighur people. Millions of Uighur people in the Xinjiang region of China have been subjected to human rights violations. Many of the world's fashion brands are guilty. Xinjiang, which is home to the Uighurs, produces 85% of China's cotton. It also accounts for at least 20% of the global supply. This cotton is distributed to factories across the region and country, which makes the traceability of forced labor extremely difficult. Even though some big companies say they are investigating these claims, the question arises: how can one be sure that their sourcing partners have not been part of this system of modern-day slavery? According to rights groups, over 1 million Uighurs and other Muslim minorities are held in re-education camps in Xinjiang. In these camps, they are subjected to forced labor. China denies the accusations and calls these camps vocational centers designed to curb extremism. Meanwhile, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has described the treatment meted out to Uighurs as crimes against humanity. China's poor human rights record in Xinjiang has led to growing global outrage. But will the fashion industry take a stand? As more and more high-end brands face accusations of having links to an already exploitative system. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
On the 11th of August, Pakistan celebrated its National Day of Minorities. Now, on paper, it was a celebration of brotherhood and tolerance in Pakistani society. But in reality, it was yet another day of brutality against minorities, once again in the name of blasphemy. And in case you are wondering how Pakistan does that, let me show you. Have a look at these images. This is how Pakistan is uplifting its minorities. These visuals are from the city of Faisalabad in Pakistan's Punjab province. They show a group of extremists vandalizing a church. Why? Over allegations of blasphemy. Here's what we know so far. On Wednesday morning, hundreds of people armed with sticks and batons stormed a local Christian colony in Faisalabad's Jaranwala area. And here they attacked and set ablaze 6 churches and several adjoining buildings. The churches attacked include the Salvation Army Church, Allied Foundation Church, and Sherunwala Church. Now, these attacks were apparently triggered by the alleged blasphemous actions of 2 local Christians. There is no clarity yet on what blasphemy they committed, but fundamentalists and extremists, you see, do not need clarity. A rumor, a whisper, is enough to bring out the vengeance lying below a thin surface. And now have a look at this tweet. It's from the moderator bishop of the Church of Pakistan. He posted several images, in fact, of the extremists attacking the church. Attached was a heart-wrenching caption. It read, and I'm quoting from it, "Words fail me as I write this. We, bishops, priests, and lay people are deeply pained and distressed at the Jaranwala incident in the Faisalabad district in Pakistan. A church building is being burnt as I type this message. Bibles have been desecrated and Christians have been tortured and harassed, having been falsely accused of violating the Holy Quran. We cry out for justice and action from law enforcement and those who dispense justice and the safety of all citizens to intervene immediately and assure us that our lives are valuable in our own homeland that has just celebrated independence and freedom." Those are some strong words there. So what exactly are Pakistani authorities doing about this is the immediate question. Are they doing anything at all, in fact? Well, the Punjab police saying that it has launched an investigation, not action, just an investigation. An investigation that may take up the rest of our lives. And as for Pakistan's leaders, they haven't even acknowledged the incident, leave alone condemning it. This is what Shehbaz Sharif posted today, a tweet condemning the desecration of the Holy Quran in Sweden. What about the desecration of places of worship back home? What about the attack on these 4 churches that unfolded today? We scrolled through his handle. He hadn't even posted one comment on the incident. Why would he? Such attacks, after all, have become a regular affair in Pakistan. Just 3 months back in April, a church in Pakistan's Khokar town came under attack. It was pelted with stones and bricks by a mob of around 40 armed men. In February this year, 2 Christian farmers were killed in Pakistan. One of them was beaten to death by his Muslim landowner. In January, a guava farmer was gunned down for resisting the stealing of fruits from his orchard. He too was a Christian, by the way. He was killed by 3 Muslim youths, and reports say the accused are still walking free. You think that is unforgivable? Then have a look at this report. In the month of April, a 15-year-old Christian girl was kidnapped. She was abducted by a 60-year-old Muslim who later forcibly married her and converted her to Islam. The girl's family says they went to the police, but the cops refused to accept her complaint. And it does not end there. Just last year, a Christian priest was shot dead in Peshawar. What was his crime, you ask? No one knows. The Peshawar police, in fact, has linked the attack to terrorist elements. Even schools run by Christians are under attack. Last year, a school in Pakistan's Sheikhupura city was ransacked by a group of goons, and reports say at least 14 armed men raided the school, tortured the staff, and damaged their vehicles. Why is that? Because this school was providing free education to Christian students. And these were just a few instances, by the way. There are many more. The list is long. There are many more stories of horror, many more accounts of atrocities. But you get the point here. The life of Pakistan's Christians has become a living hell. And these numbers tell you the story. In 1998, Christians made up 1.59% of Pakistan's population. In the year 2021, this figure had dropped to just 1.27%. If I speak of literacy, only 35% of Christians in Pakistan are literate, according to an Islamabad-based NGO. And as per media reports, over 80% of Christian family units of 6 to 8 people live in 2-room houses. And let's not even talk about the kind of jobs that they do. To this day, every cantonment city in Pakistan has an area known as Lal Kurti. This is where Christians reside and do odd jobs at the households of the generals. jobs like laborers, cleaners, farmhands. One report says that 80% of sanitary positions in Pakistan are held by Christians. Have a look at this report. It's from December 2021. Let me quote what this Pakistani newspaper said about Christian workers. The Christian cleaners have kept the sewer system moving in Karachi's enormous port metropolis by unclogging decaying drain pipes of feces and dangerous hospital waste. I could go on with examples of the kind of treatment Christians in Pakistan are subjected to, but the thing here is there is frankly very little that the world can do about it. Time and again, various global bodies have urged Pakistan to treat its minorities better, to punish those who perpetuate crimes against Christians and Hindus. But you see, that is hoping for too much in today's weak, insecure, and radicalized Pakistan. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.